Hello there. These are just a few more thoughts about America's dysfunctional relationship with money. There are a lot of videos all over the internet just kind of talking about economic woes and how it is to make ends meet nowadays. And we've been kind of working up to this for a long time. This isn't something that's come about in the last few years. And I remember there was a man who ran for New York City mayor. I remember it from maybe the early 2000s. I did some reading about him, and he actually kind of started his career in politics in the mid 90s. But anyway, he had a slogan, pardon the language, but he said the rent is too damn high. His name is Jimmy McMillan, and he was basically laughed at and scoffed at and kind of blown off. I was reading about his political platform. It actually kind of made sense, even if you disagree with it. He believed in fixed rent prices and how that would stimulate the economy, because if there were fixed rent prices, then people could spend more money elsewhere. So that would, just grow the economy. It's not that far fetched to me. And anyway, there was another movement called the Fight for 15, and that kind of started, I believe, in the around the 2010s or something like that. And it was service industry people, mostly people who worked in fast food, who were just advocating for a $15 an hour minimum wage. And people just thought that that was just outrageous. But I mean, $15 an hour, that's a $30,000 a year salary. And, I mean, even in 2010, that was not, a very high salary. That was still quite a modest salary, but that's what they were asking for. Again, they were kind of laughed at, maligned. People told them, no, you're not worth all that. If you want more money, get a different job, etc., etc. Now, this man, Jimmy McMillan, he, kind of a brash personality, doesn't really look like most politicians, and he is a black man. Most of those people that I remember from the Fight for 15, they were people who, I remember a lot of black women being involved in that, but there were a lot of Hispanic women as well, and, like middle-aged white women working at like Waffle House and such. And those are kind of people that we're all used to seeing in poverty. And I just feel like they did not get the support that they needed, just because they're the kind of people that we're used to seeing in poverty. And so they kind of make that lowest rung of the economic ladder that one, people with more money can make more money off of, and then everyone else can just kind of feel better about themselves, even if they're just that much more wealthy. Wealthy is probably not even the right word, probably that much more comfortable. So, again, this is just, another example of how Americans like to use money to kind of like punch down and just be snobby. It's another example of just our dysfunctional relationship with money, how it's just used as a tool just to, degrade people, which is very, very unfortunate. But anyway, fast forward, now there are more people who we're not really used to seeing in poverty who are, living kind of tight. And I just feel like, some of them were maybe too young to remember the Fight for 15 or the rent is too darn high, man. But some of them are my age and older. And I really wish that I could ask them, hey, do you remember Fight for 15? What'd you think about that? You remember that guy in New York? The rent is too darn high. What'd you think about that? Because at the time, they all just kind of got laughed at and put down and just kind of blown off. So, yeah, that's it. America just has this really dysfunctional amount of money. I mean, there's a lot of money in this country. There's really enough resources for everyone to be comfortable. But there's just kind of a desire for, people to suffer so that other people can feel a little bit better about themselves, and that's very unfortunate. And I think that it takes a lot of prayer, a lot of repentance, a lot of, you know, reading the word. And in a country that likes to think of itself as a Christian country, we really should not be this way. So, yeah, that's it. I think I covered it and got it all out this time. Um, yeah, again, just to reiterate, I think that just the lack of resources and just feeling kind of constrained financially, it's just kind of like spread to more people, other than the people that have always kind of been maybe, a little bit strapped financially. And now it's an economic emergency, some people feel. But, when other people, black people, Hispanic people, like middle aged white ladies working at uh, Waffle House, were advocating for better conditions, and the old man in New York, when he was advocating for affordable rent, that was all just kind of a joke and not taken seriously. But now, it's a much bigger problem, and homelessness has risen. Uh, Rent gets raised several $100s. I mean, like $400 or $500 in some cases, and you can read all these kind of stories on the news. There are not that many people, regardless of what you do, who could just absorb a $400 or $500 rent increase. So yeah, maybe if people weren't so snobby and so egotistical and honestly like racist and sexist, maybe we could have addressed some of these issues as a nation, given some of the people that are, working poor some more opportunities, some more resources, probably would have turned out better for all of us. And let's say I'm a middle-aged person, and so I remember in my younger life, having a pretty hard time trying to find a job. And I mean, I have this job now. I'm still like underemployed. It's just I've just kind of learned to cope with it, and this is pretty easy, this job that I have here, and I'm not bothered too much. So, yeah, I've been through it. I just wanted to say that this is not new. It should have been addressed a long time ago. It's just people were not wanting to address it because of the people who were trying to ask for more resources and ask for fairness, and now it's spread. And as a Christian country, we really, really should have done better. It's another example of religious hypocrisy in American culture, and maybe we can do better from here on out. I kind of doubt if people will, but I'm just here to kind of point things out. So, yeah, I'm just pray about your relationship with money, this country's relationship with money, and how we view others, and maybe just have a little bit more compassion on other people and less judgment. So anyway, I think I got it all out. I've tried to record this like a couple of times, but I think I got it all out now. I'm not going to do this again. Anyway, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.